Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Clint Huffman. I'm an analytics manager, and I want to help you grow in your analytics skills and unlock your potential. Today, I want to go through an Excel data cleaning exercise where we're going to look at issues related to date formatting and date conversion. I've got 4 scenarios that we're going to look at, so let's get started. So as we look at the first scenario here, I've got a list of dates, but the problem is that Excel doesn't recognize these values as dates. So when I highlight the cells, you can see the data type says general, and I can click in the filter and it doesn't group them by year, it doesn't group them by month. So how are we going to resolve this? So there's a number of different ways that you can resolve this. We could use a formula, but the way I'm going to do it is to highlight the whole cell range, and I'm going to go to data and use text to columns. And I'm going to leave it as delimited. That wouldn't change anything. I'll leave it as tab. That won't change anything. And I'm going to click date. I want to change the date format, and I'm going to put it in a year, month, day format because that's the format that it's in. I'll hit finish, and it has successfully converted them to a date format. And there's the solution that we just resolved. Jumping to our second scenario. So this is a very similar situation with the exception that now some of the dates are recognized as dates in Excel and some are not. So these are recognized as dates, the ones that are that have the slashes in them. But the numbers that don't, it just sees as a number. It doesn't recognize it as a date. So how are we going to resolve this? Very similar fashion. I'm going to highlight the cell range again. I'm going to go to data, text to columns. I'll leave it as delimited, leave it as tab. I'm going to click date, but this time I'm going to leave it in a month, day, year format since that's the format that it's in. And it will convert the numbers to dates. And then for the remainders, we're just going to keep the highlighted cell range, go back to the home tab and change the date formatting to short date here. And now all of our dates are in the same format in Excel. And there's the solution for that. So this third scenario is a little bit more complicated, going a step further. So I've got a list of dates here, but we've got mixed formats again, but this time some are month, year, day, or I'm sorry, month, day, year, and some are year, month, day. And so how am I going to resolve this? So I want to resolve it in 2 steps, and I'm going to use formulas for this. The first thing I want to do is use a length formula. And the reason for that is that I want to be able to distinguish between the values that Excel identifies as a date versus not. And so the fields that Excel identifies as a date will be a length of 5 because it is a date serial number. So for example, like these fields here, if I were to take these and go to general, it puts it in a 5-character format. And so the ones that are not flagged as dates are going to be the longer length. So, and again, this is one way of addressing this. So I want to write a formula that's going to convert the ones that I flagged as a length of 8 to a date. And then I'm also going to convert the ones that I flagged as a length of 5 to the same format of a date. So in order to do this, let's do a few things all at once here. So I'm going to say if B6 is equal to 8, so how am I going to convert this? Well, I need to use a text function to put it in the month, day, year format that I want. But I also need to use a date function to actually put it in a date. And then I'm going to use left, mid, and right functions to break apart and separate out the date parts of the cell. So I'm going to use a left function, and I want the left 4 characters because that would represent the year. I'm going to use a mid function, and I'm going to start in the 5th character, which is where the month begins, and I only want 2 characters. And then I'm going to use the right function, and I only want the right 2 digits because that would be the day. And so then I'm going to put it in my month, month, day, day, year, 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 year format. And let's close that out. All right. So this should only solve for the length of 8, correct. So everything that is not a date format or the length of 8, I've successfully converted to the date format. So now the only thing left to do is to pull through the ones that Excel does see as a date to be the same format. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to say if B6 is equal to 5, so if it's the other one, then I'm just going to use a text formula on the original cell and put it in a month, month, day, day, year, year, year format. And I think I need, 3. All right. And now I've successfully converted everything to a date format that is in the same format. And I can copy and paste as values just to avoid any issues with formulas going forward. But this is the solution. This is what we worked through. So first I wanted to flag the ones that were year, month, day versus month, day, year, and then use a formula with text to convert one, and then use another formula to convert the other. For the final scenario here, this is an issue that I've run into as an analyst when I'm trying to query data. So I've got a list of sample data here with just product IDs, it's fake product IDs, and release dates and service dates. And I'm simulating a situation where I need to build a temp table. And so I'm using Excel to put these in a SQL ready format. But you'll notice when I reference these date cells, it doesn't pull through as a date. It pulls through the serial number, which is not what I need. The serial number doesn't mean anything in SQL, so I need it to be in the actual date format. But the issue is that Excel recognizes it as a date. So why didn't it pull through the date? There's a couple of ways that you can resolve this. We could use text to columns, or we could use a text function. The issue is that we actually need to convert it from a date to a text string for it to come through properly. So I'll highlight this cell range and go to text to columns. I'll leave it as delimited, leave it as tab, and then I'll convert it to text. And you'll see that in the middle, it actually pulled through the text format. And the other way is for this one, I'll just use the other way. You can put a text formula next to it, and then say I want my month, day, day, year, 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 and I think I put too many months in there. So let's take one out. There we go. And so now I've got it in SQL ready format, and the date formatting is correct. All right, and let's show the solution here. Using the text to columns function and converting it to a text format, or using a text formula. Just something to be aware of, using the text formula, I put a leading 0 in front of my single digit months and days, but the text to columns function did not do that. So just something to keep in mind, maybe do either one or the other so that your formatting is consistent throughout. So if this was helpful to you, please like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.